Well, Teddi Mellencamp is officially breaking her silence and speaking out about the false rumors that she had an affair with a horse trainer behind her husband's back. And not only that, but Jax just backed up into somebody else's car and apparently fled the scene. Are we surprised? Not really. Let's get into it. Let's get it. You're listening to No Filter with Zack Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. Welcome on in, welcome on in, welcome on in, everybody in the club. In the club, we all fam. I'm over the club, we all fam. Lately, I've been into the I like my suitcase. Do you know the suitcase? Oh man, I love the suitcase. I like my suitcase. I like my suitcase. I like my suitcase. Suitcase. Ah, it's the best. I like my suitcase. And then they did the DJ remix. I like my suitcase. So that's going to be stuck in my head all week. I like my suitcase. Jupiter Clark said, Zack is such a fun creator. Thank you. Somebody left me. I was like, oh, let's do some review shout outs today. And then I went to go look. And then this one twat, I shouldn't call her a twat, but she does leave me consistently negative reviews on Apple Podcasts quite often. Like she's been leaving like one, like every week it's been like a new negative review that she left. And so her name is Pink's Beach. And she said, bye. Thanks for recommending Daily Dose of Donna. Donna is spelled wrong. She is fun and not annoying. So I was like, okay, Pink's Beach, like you could, one, this isn't an airport. You don't need to exit your departure. And number two, I thought you left like 4 negative reviews ago. But while you're on your way, I hope you like your suitcase. I'm gonna keep it annoying here. So if you find the podcast annoying, it's not gonna get any less annoying. Just giving you a heads up now. We're here to stay. Oh, Joe is back. Joe was at a self-retreat last week. He was doing his healing. He had a jade egg up his hoo-ha, and now he's back. And he did also ask a very shady question at Kempire's live show. Just gotta throw that out there because Joe is a shady. Hey, what's up, guys? Oh man, I had quite the weekend. What's happened since I last saw you? Did I do anything on Friday? No. Well, me and Jimbo have seen quite a bit of each other. Just gonna throw that out there. If you know, you know. If you're a member of the Zack Pack or on Apple Podcasts, you know. If you know, you know. Saturday, I went to this comedy show for Fullerton Cares. I went all the way out from LA to Fullerton. It's a bit of a drive. But I went out to support my friend Shannon. There was an event for kids with autism. It was a comedy show for autism. It was great. Larry, the organizer, also the owner of the Charleston in Fullerton. Great spot right there on Bourbon Street. Fullerton Cares, great organization. They had Jay Moore was the headliner. So that was a fun night. I had way too many whiskeys and not enough food. So Sunday morning, I woke up wildly hungover. Like, oh, I was dead. I was truly like, did not want to get out of bed. Was just like a deflated balloon. And I had to pull it together because then Andy, my co-host on the Pop Report, was hosting Friendsgiving last night. And so I was going to cook because he wanted everybody to cook for, Friendsgiving. And so originally I was going to go to Whole Foods and I was like, you know what? They have all those like prepackaged meals and stuff. I'm just going to cheapen it. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to get the prepackaged stuff. I'm going to put it in my nice fancy dishes and warm it up and be like, look at what I made. And then I went there and the prices of some of that stuff is redonkulous. Like a little container this big, it was like $10 of green beans. And I'm like, green beans are $3. I can saute them myself in 5 minutes. And no, I'm not paying $10 for a little container this big of green beans. So I did the asshole thing. So I ordered it. Once I saw like how small the container, I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to pay for this. So then I went and I got I got 2 bags of green beans, which were less than $10. Got the ingredients that I needed to whip up my regular green bean dish, which is quick and easy. Did some Brussels sprouts with bacon, quick and easy. Yum, yum, delicious. And then I accidentally left the container of green beans that I had gotten from the counter on the conveyor belts. So, yeah, Max has made green beans affordable again. Honestly, though, Laura says Whole Foods is whole paycheck. Yeah, but I just feel like everything's kind of up right now. Use your bathtub like oh no, not we're not doing that. Oh, but it was so funny. I do have to share this, and we'll get into the tea in just a sec. But there was this video that I saw of this girl because obviously everybody's on the press tour for, or not everybody, but Ariana Grande and what is her name, Cynthia something. Um, she they're doing the press tour for Wicked, and in it, one of the report like their interviews are fucking weird. We'll talk about it on the Pop Report this week, but their interviews are like interesting, and just overly emotional and so over the top, and but there was this one reporter, and she was just like, "Did you know that people online are holding space for" what's the song? Um, Wicked song. What is the name of the song? It's not The Wizard and I. It's like the really popular one. Oh, Defying Gravity. She said that they're holding space for Defying Gravity. And people are like, what does that mean? Like, nobody understood what it meant that people are holding space for Defying Gravity. Like, nobody really understands what that means. Like, what does it mean to hold space for a song? Because like I like okay. So everyone's holding space for it. And then this one girl went on TikTok and she's just like, how does nobody understand what it means to hold space for the song Defying Gravity? She's like, I understood that what that meant when I was 6 years old. She's like, what did you just fall out of a coconut tree? She's like, you exist in the context of all of which is and came before you. And it was just funny because it's like, yeah, nobody knows what any of that means. So it was funny. Kenzie says it feels like they're trolling us all with the Wicked promos and interviews. Are they though? Are they though? M says, just became a member. I never forget. I never get FOMO, but I need to be in the know, Zach. You always need to be in the know when you're a member. And when you're a member, you always are in the know. Laura says, I hold space for Gold Dust Woman by Fleetwood Mac. Listen, Laura, you exist in the context of all of which was and that came before you. So there you go. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? Oh, man. It was yeah, but last night's Friendsgiving was great. I made my green beans, I made my Brussels sprouts because everybody in the thread was bringing, like, desserts, and then someone was making cupcakes, and I was like, "We're bringing cupcakes to a Friendsgiving? Okay." But so everyone was bringing desserts in the thread, and I didn't write what I was gonna be putting, but I was like, "Well, if everybody's bringing desserts," I assumed Andy would be making turkey because, he's the host. He made, like, 50 charcuterie boards that looked beautiful, but it was, like, so much charcuterie that, like, nobody could finish all the charcuterie. It looked so like one thing Andy is great at is aesthetics, but there was just so much charcuterie. And so but anyway, so I did green beans and Brussels sprouts, classic sides for Thanksgiving that nobody said that they were bringing, but of course, somebody else ended up bringing Brussels sprouts and green beans, but I think my Brussels sprouts were a bit more of a hit because they had bacon in them and because there were none left by the end of the night. People took some and saved some. I didn't even have any. Well, I did when I ate dinner, but I didn't have any to take home. But it's okay because I have leftover Brussels sprouts and leftover bacon in my fridge that I can make some fresh ones myself. Okay. Janet, someone told me Wicked the movie is part one and not the whole story. Yeah, apparently. I thought someone said that there was part two already, and I was like, part two? Is there gonna be was there a part two in the play? But there wasn't a part two in the play. I guess they broke the movie up. Like when they did the Harry Potter, like the final movie, it was part one and part two. I don't like when they do that because then we only get half the story and then the movie ends with only half the story and then we have to come all the way back. And I'm like, do I even want to wait? Or do I want to wait for the second one to come out so then I can watch the first one and the second one? Marianne Stout says no turkey. There was turkey. There was some turkey there. Um, there was turkey. There was just also lots of charcuterie. Brussels sprouts get better as you age. Oh, you mean as you get older, you appreciate them more in the taste? Yeah, I agree. Are you guys doing anything fun for Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving. I'm not watching it. I'm protesting, not holding space. Why are you protesting? Did you see the thing with Ariana and she was holding her finger? That was like a meme because they were doing their press tour instead of holding hands, Ariana was holding their finger. Any tofurkey. Pamela, there was something. I don't know if it was tofurkey, but there was like a vegan thing that I'm assuming was like vegan turkey. I don't know if it was tofurkey or another type of turkey. Um, But there was something vegan there, for sure. Yeah. I'm not watching Ariana Homewrecker or Grande. Ooh, Mary Duda. I forgot. She wrecked a few homes, huh? Didn't she? Or how many homes did she wreck? I don't know. Book sweetheart, I used to do that with the guys I dated. You would do what? Give them tofurkey? I don't. What did you used to do? You guys need to add context when you leave comments. Okay, what should we get into first? Do we start with Teddi or do you want to start with Jax? Or, okay, did you see that over the weekend, The Traitors season 3? The Traitors season 3. Oh, Joe says he's getting stuffed like a turkey this Thursday. Okay. I will be friends receiving Thursday and Friday. Oh, he's going to get stuffed like a turkey. What was I saying? The Traitors season 3. Okay. I know that this is going to be controversial, but hello, welcome to my world. Tom Sandoval in the promo photos looks kind of hot. I'm not going to lie. Like he was just doing things for me. And I was just like really feeling it, you know? So they had all the different Alan Cummings looks awful. I don't like his hair. It's just not slapping for me. It's just kind of like a weird like Dakota Fanning vibe that is just not. Let me see if I can find it for you. Defying gravity. Defying gravity. Oh man, they have so many cast members. I can't. Where's the Ellen Cummings photo? He has like this weird little like middle part. It's like bleach blonde hair with this little. It reminds me of Dakota Fanning when she was like a little girl. Little girl. It's just not really doing it. The filters on those photos though, yeah, they are pretty filtered. Okay, so we have Robin Dixon. I'm so glad Juan Dixon isn't here right now. We have Jeremy Collins from Survivor. Don't know him. We have Carolyn Wigger from Survivor. Don't know her. But I don't like her outfit because her gloves come all the way up to her what is this? Her biceps. They come all the way up here, right? Mid-arm, and it has all of this fur around the top. So and then she's leaning into the picture frame like this. So then all of the fur on the top of the glove is just like looking like all of this it's looking like armpit hair. It's just not it's not an attractive look. Look like you can just see. It's all the fur right here. And so she just looks like she has one giant furry armpit. And I was like, well, was she on? Well, I guess she was on Survivor. So I guess they don't shave on that show. So she just kept the look. We have Dylan Efron, who kind of looks cute, right? Like he's kind of a vibe. I'm kind of into it. I don't know. Do we think he's cuter than Zac Efron? I think he's definitely gotten cuter than his brother Zac Efron, but he's random. Oh, Dylan Efron from Down to Earth with Zac Efron. That's his credit. That's his claim to fame. Cute. Joe says, I just want Dylan Efron to be shirtless the entire season. Okay, we're probably not going to get him shirtless at all, but keep wishing. We have Nikki Garcia, aka Nikki Bella, and she WWE Hall of Famer. She's also most notable for her recent divorce from Artem from Dancing with the Stars. We have Tom Sandoval's from Vanderpump Rules, and I just want to say, I know it's wrong, but I don't want to be right. Tom Sandoval is looking hot in this, like just the hair and the eyes. I just like, he got rid of the white nail polish, which I'm very here for. Zack had a lot of face work. I did not have a lot of face work. Oh, Zac Efron, not me. But you spelled it like my name. Zac Efron is Z-A-C. You put Zack Z-A-C-K. That's me. I have not had any face work done. Well, I mean, my jaw has technically been reconstructed because of the Invisalign, but like, oh, Tom Sandoval, meet me in the back of a dive bar. Let's make out and go into the bathroom stall and go into the non-gendered bathroom stall. We have Brittany Hayes from Big Brother. Isn't she the one that's friends with Ariana or with Frankie Grande? We have Dolores Catania that looks so hot. I don't love this hat on her, but like body, face, everything looks gorgeous. Gabby Windley. Oh, she's the one that's friends with Frankie Grande, no? From The Bachelor. I don't know. One of them is Frankie Grande's friend. We have Danielle Reyes from Big Brother. Don't know her. Chriselle Staus, who looks fine. Selling Sunset. We have Dorinda Medley. I'm not loving. What is it about Dorinda's look that I'm not loving? Is it her hair? There's something about the look that's just not serving for me from Dorinda. From Roni. We have Bob the drag queen, okay, from RuPaul. We have Tony Vlachos, okay, from Survivor. We have Bob Harper from The Biggest Loser. I feel like Bob Harper has not gotten more attractive as he's gotten older. We have Sam Asghari, actor and model, aka Britney Spears' ex-husband. He's hot. I'm here for it. He's hot. We have Lord Ivor, the British royal, the gay British cousin, and then we have Rob Mariano from Survival and Deal or No Deal Island. What is Deal or No Deal Island? What is that? I've never heard of that. Like the show Deal or No Deal, but like on an island? What a stupid concept. We have Sierra Miller from Summer House. There's so many people in this show. Sierra Miller. We have Wells Adams. He's hot from Bachelor in Paradise. He's also, isn't he the one that's married to Sarah Hyland? Oh, and we have Chanel Ayan from Royal Houses of Dubai. You know, the show that just got canceled. So, yeah. Well, Bob almost died, so that didn't help. Didn't he almost die of like a heart attack? Did he almost die? Was that real? Wow. I remember hearing something about him and his heart attack, but Rob is a very good competitor who okay. That's strange deal or no. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is. Love Bob, the drag queen. I never watched RuPaul's Drag Race, so I don't know any of the drag queens, but hopefully he's not as annoying. Who was the last one? Was it Peppermint? Or was Peppermint the first season? There was a drag queen on last season, and they were so annoying because they were just like, "Oh, I got voted off because I'm a drag queen and people don't hold space for me." And I'm like, "Calm down. All right? This isn't Defying Gravity. Like everybody like it was just a ridiculous argument." Zach, I wish you would show us the pics by sending them on the screen so we can actually see them. Yeah, well, I wasn't preparing on having them on the screen. I'm sorry. I tried to show them on my phone, but I wasn't preparing to go through each of the individual photos. I just wanted to talk about the trailer that we saw, which looked kind of good. It didn't give us a whole lot. We didn't get much aside from like getting to know each of the different cast members. So it was the cast is enticing, right? I'm looking forward to Tom Sandoval. I'm looking forward to Dorinda. Sierra actually surprised me in the trailer. I'm kind of interested. I don't think Robin's going to be a standout, to be honest with you. I think she's probably going to be like a Sheree who kind of just skirts by until the very end and they finally get rid of her. Um, yeah, Robin's not going to win. So, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Widowmaker is the blockage of the left anterior descending coronary artery. Oh, got it, got it, got it. Bob is besties with Peppermint. Well, Pepper is a trans woman that does drag. I don't know what that means, but thank you for clarifying. Sharon says, "I don't know the drag queens except when they show up on another reality show." Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched RuPaul's Drag Race, so I'm learning them as they're doing these other competition shows, like Peppermint. Yeah. Um, Sydney says, "You're on fire today, and you look nothing like poo. Don't talk about my neighbor like that." Are we neighbors, Sydney? Um, did I say it looked like crap today? I don't I don't remember saying it looks like crap today. I was very hungover yesterday. Joe says Bob the Drag Queen won season 8 and was in an HBO show. We're here, and he has a podcast with Monet Exchange, Sibling Rivalry. Bob is a comedian. Oh, okay. Well, listen, I look funny. I look forward to laughing at him on the Traders. You better come in and be funny, because Dorinda, you know she's going to slur her way and try to steal the show. Clip. Clip. New RuPaul season coming soon, and they said it's wetter. Oh, it's wetter. Okay. Are they doing like water Olympics? Okay. Well, that's Traders. Let's move on. Traders, when does it come back? In January, right? Traders returns January 9th on Peacock. So there we go. Dylan Efron is kind of cute. I don't know if he's going to be any. I don't know. Some of these people we like don't know them. Like I don't know Dylan Efron. I don't know if he's like anything interesting. So we shall see. Dorinda should do good. She is ruthless. Well, usually the ones that are ruthless, like Dorinda and outspoken, they get voted out early on. They should have brought on Shannon Bedore and Erica Jane over Robin and Dolores. No, I like Dolores. Robin, I think, is a terrible choice. I would have loved Shannon Bedore and I would have loved Erica Jane. So Dorinda is the only good housewife this season. No, I'm looking forward. Why are we sleeping on Dolores? I think Dolores would actually be like you're forgetting. Dolores like knows the mob. She hangs with traitors. She was, vouching for Tommy Manzo. If anybody knows a traitor, it's Dolores. Larsa can go from House of Villains. I like Larsa. I'm actually enjoying Larsa on House of Villains. She's a great villain. Like it's literally House of Villains. So, yeah. Okay. Teddi Mellencamp is breaking her silence and calling out the haters. She's finally dishing on the rumors that she slept with the horse trainer behind her husband's back and was having an affair. And then apparently the wife came out and also claimed that while the wife was giving birth, the husband Simon was with Teddi at the time and they were in Florida. And so now Teddy's responding to all of that. So Teddy posted on Instagram a workout video with Christina Aguilera's Fighter. Makes me a little bit stronger. It's making me fighter. So she wrote, the only person who can change your life is you. We have two options: pretend to be a victim or stand up and fight for yourself. We all deserve peace and happiness. I have cried and mourned. I have taken accountability and apologized for things that I have done. Now I've given myself permission to grow and thrive. I have decided to not pander to the media and tell my side because, in the big scheme of things, clickbait means nothing. And of course, three sides to every story. How can I stand up and show up for the people that do matter? This is called being an adult. This is what saying it with my full chest means. I don't understand what she's saying with her full chest. Like, is she saying like I banged the horse trainer and I'm saying it with my full chest? Not entirely sure what she meant by that, but she's addressing it. People are dragging her in the comments. One person specifically, Rachel Lemdna. Rachel asks, or Rachel comments, yes to the growing and thriving, but was his wife really giving birth when you were with him? I just can't imagine how alone she must have felt in that moment. I hope she can grow and thrive also. And then Teddi responded, nope, not true. Guess what? I wasn't even in Florida. So she seems to be denying that he was with her. I mean, maybe he was with somebody else. If he was cheating on his wife, there's a chance he may have like been with another person. Thanks for making me stronger. I mean, listen, if she's saying that she took accountability, I'm assuming this was like she had conversations with her husband. They are working things through, whether they're staying together. Well, I guess they're not 'cause she filed for divorce. But, she took accountability for the pieces that she did do, right? Because people were in the comments and they're like, you're saying there's three sides to every story. So if you're saying that there's three sides to every story, then that means you're not telling the truth. And it's like, well, no, they can both be true. She could be taking accountability for her actions, but saying that there are three sides to every story means that what's being reported in the media might not be the truth necessarily. That like Teddi has her side, other people have their sides, and then all of their sides collectively make up what is the objective truth. So, let's see. More people are coming into the comments, and they're all kind of dragging her. No, this is called real. Anna says, no, this is called avoidance. You spend every day talking about everyone else's business. And now when it's up to you to be honest, you have no accountability of your own. Car Marie says, saying there are three sides to every story is not taking accountability. Well, again, she could be taking accountability for what she did do, but what's being reported might not be true because it was reported that she was with him when the wife uh, was giving was giving birth. So I don't know. Christina says, but if she's sleeping with a pregnant woman's man, regardless if she was giving birth or not, is still diabolical. This man was continuing to grow his family, and she probably knew that. Listen, it's not good, right? Like the whole situation is bad. It's messy. She's sleeping with a married man. She's sleeping with a married man that has a pregnant wife. Like it's all pretty messy. I mean, we can't absolve him of accountability because obviously he's the one that's stepping out on his wife. Teddy obviously did know that his wife was giving birth, so that just makes it more, of a dicey situation. Um, I don't I don't know. I mean, I'm glad that she's at least addressed. I wish she would address it on the podcast, and I wish she would be a little more clear with things because, as they pointed out in the comments, like when we come on our podcast and we critique other people or we break down their relationships or break down their affairs, like Scandival, you know, that's part of what we sign up for is also people having interest in our lives, right? And people wanting speculation. That's like when Adam and I were fighting, and then like people like wanted to know about like at the beginning, they're like, "Are you fighting? Or are you not?" Like people have an interest in my life, which is why I always just live my life so openly. Um, because when you put yourselves out there, like people become invested in you, and then like if there was, well, I was going to say if there was an affair rumor where I have cheated with somebody that was taken, which there have already been those rumors out there about me, they have been false. Three sides to every story. No, they have been. Those were false rumors. Um, but, like, you have to address it head on, you know? Kenzie says, "Weren't there rumors of Edwin cheating going around for years? They both cheated, so what's the big deal?" That's my point is, like, yes, I'd heard that he had been cheating as well. Um, so I think that they'd been in maybe a struggling marriage for quite some time. And yeah, I agree. It sounds like they were both cheating on each other. I think the difference though is it was Teddy was cheating with a man that had a baby on the way that she knew of. So I think that's where it's just a little it stings a little harder, you know? It stings just a little bit harder. Laura says, I learned about Zach's life through Joe's shady questions. Well, because Joe knows I'm never going to avoid a question. Andy stood up for her at Bravo Fest. Yes, he did. I saw that. And he's like, I don't get why the fans have really turned on her. I thought she's always been a truth teller, which is true. Um, Distinguished guest says, I love Erica on Teddy's podcast. She is so good without harsh judging. Yeah, I agree. Pamela says they seemed really sweet at first, Teddy and Edwin. Yeah, but remember she came out and she said that first season, that's when they were really struggling, and I think he had just cheated on her. She had just found out about him cheating. That was something that she like alluded to on the podcast that like he had cheated on her. D. Colazzo says it's interesting and it's also interesting. She puts her entire accountability business at risk and she loves money so much. This horse boy must have been pretty special. I don't know. I think maybe when you're in a relationship and what feels like a loveless relationship, you'll seek out anything that can fill that hole. Well, and that's a poor choice of words. Sorry, that did not come out right. But yeah, the thing is, Teddy is always judging others. I mean, and Teddy preaches walk the walk as well as the talk. I mean, listen, I don't actively listen to. Um, didn't actively listen to Two Teas in a Pod, so I don't often listen to all of her commentary. Um, but listen, I don't know. It doesn't look good, and I do feel for her because she does have young kids, but it does not look good. I do wish she would just address it on the podcast, do an episode on it, and just be like, "Listen, the rumors are out there." And that's where she can say 3 sides to every story. I'm going to stick up for like, rather than doing an Instagram post, I would rather she just say it with the words coming out of her own mouth on camera on the podcast, and just she doesn't have to give us all the details, but she can just be like, "Listen, I'm trying to work on things personally. I have young kids that I'm trying to be mindful of." Um, like, she doesn't need to give an interview to the press, but, like, at least do an episode on it, right? That would also be great ratings for the podcast. I mean, not that, like, you wanna put exploit your family for podcast ratings, but, like, you know? Melissa Torres says the focus is on looks, but women tend to cheat due to a lack of intimacy. Yeah, women, I think men cheat for the physical stuff and women cheat because they're craving that emotional connection. And I think if she found somebody that was able to connect with her emotionally, I'm sure that's what led to the affair. So if you're going to say it with your whole chest, then actually say it. I mean, yeah, too bad Rachel got rid of her podcast. Teddy could have interviewed her. Well, I mean, Rachel's out there being, the face of all the mistresses. So Pamela says she didn't talk about the kids when she was probably literally rolling in the hay. Laura says address it on the podcast and be done. I agree. I mean, I'm glad that she's at least addressing it a little bit. And she's saying that she's not going to talk about it on the podcast, but I don't know. Yeah, see, everyone's really dragging her. Stop talking about other people's business on your podcast. Lots total respect for you over the last few months. Well, like that's her job. Like that's our job is to talk about the shows, talk about the news, talk about all that stuff. So it's not like that's too far-fetched of an idea, you know? Makes me a little bit harder. Thanks for making me wiser. Wiser. Uh. The face of all the mistresses. Well, that's what she said, that she wanted to represent Rachel Leviss. She wanted to represent all, all the mistresses. That mistresses happen. Isn't that what she's like? Mistresses happen. It's a thing, guys. We're like, oh, okay, got it. Mistresses happen. You accidentally fall on taking dick all the time. I've always been very clear that I have never slept with anybody's husband that I wasn't given explicit permission that I was allowed to do that. Okay. You have to get permission. Like you can't not, well, I mean, I guess there have been a couple times I didn't have permission. Um, but that was like I wasn't aware of all the details until after. Listen, we've all had our moments to save the mistress species. No, I'm not joining that movement. I don't support mistresses. I don't, support sleeping with people's husbands unless you have permission. Okay, unless you have permission. Jupiter says Teddy knows how to write. Guys, the jokes, the jokes, the jokes, the jokes. Um, Sharon says, "Wow, Zack." Like, wow, Bethany, wow. Mistresses matter. Yes, mistresses matter. I like that. Hashtag mistresses matter. It's very, what's her name? What's her name? The Brittany from Salt Lake City, when she's like, what about me? Val says, if you ain't invited, don't attend. That's very true. That's what Sharon says, spill the tea. What tea do you want? I've already spilled all the tea. The tea has been spilled, has it not? um Elvia, Mistress of the Dark. I think you mean Elvira, right? Isn't that her name? Elvira? Brittany is so boring on Salt Lake City. She's not boring. She's just obnoxious, right? She's annoying. Mistresses are falling from the coconut trees left and right. That they are. That they are. Mistresses' lives matter. Mistresses' legs matter. That's going to be the hashtag. Mistress legs matter. Thanks for making me wiser. Jasmine says 8 years ago, I had a hookup and was on my way, and he said his girlfriend left. I was disgusted and left him hanging. Hope the girl is away. See, that's the thing, Jasmine. Sometimes they don't tell you they have wives or families. So it does get a little dicey sometimes. Keep your legs close to married men, Terry. Listen, maybe Terry didn't know. Maybe Terry didn't. That happens too. Sometimes men lie. I mean, like Tom Sandoval was technically lying to Ariana, but yeah. We never talked about Whitney yanked the phone out of Meredith's hand. She didn't yank the phone out of Meredith's hand. She like took it so that she can raise the volume. I was team Whitney on that at the Tiffany's dinner when she took Meredith's phone and Meredith freaked out. I was like, what? Is she gonna find your nudes? Is she gonna find Seth's dick on your phone? Like what? Joe says Zack did not spill the tea on Jimbo. He filled it inside. No tea was leaked. I don't even know where you're trying to go with that. Men love getting away with a good lie. Yeah, it wasn't me. Said she caught me in the shower. It wasn't me. Banging on the sofa. It wasn't me. Even caught me on camera. It wasn't me. Saw the rocks that she told her. It wasn't me. Wasn't me. Yeah, I drove from Downey to Long Beach. How rude. Downey and Long, that's not that far. Okay. Like if you're in LA and you drive to Downey, you're in LA, you drive to Long Beach, that's a little bit further. Downey to Long Beach is not that far. Lori says, my boyfriend's father had a whole family, 2 kids and everything. What? Like a second family? Listen, it happens. It definitely happens for sure. Mallory says, I like the boys' lie merch, but $130 for a sweatshirt. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad they sent me one for free. Interesting that Ashton and Mila did a snack commercial to that song. Wonder if Diddy produced it. Oh, it wasn't me. That was a very dirty song. It was not the vibe. Double life situation as well. Yeah. You know, sometimes you don't always know what your husband is doing. So, Jax Taylor. Jax is being accused of a hit and run. Interesting. So yes, that song was by Shaggy. So Jax Taylor, last Wednesday, according to TMZ, was accused of crashing into a car. And so his rep has released a statement. Curious if this rep is Lori, PR Lori. Remember Lori that he was allegedly getting a little too close to? Anyway, according to his rep, to TMZ, they said Jax was involved in what he believed to be a minor fender bender yesterday afternoon when his vehicle bumped into the rear end of the car in front of him while at a red light. The driver immediately stepped out of the vehicle, enraged, which caused an unpleasant interaction between both parties. Jax saw no visible damage to either car and no apparent injuries to either involved, and therefore proceeded to leave the scene. Since this altercation, Jax has filed a claim with his insurance company to investigate further into the details and will follow the recommendations provided by his insurance company. But then the girlfriend, who probably watches Vanderpump Rules, the girlfriend of Jack, or sorry, the girlfriend of the man that Jax hit, she then went and she posted this whole long thing. So we're going to read it for you. It's very long, but she posted it on Reality Blurb. It's very long. Okay. Jax Taylor, celebrity, in parentheses, she writes, Jax Taylor, celebrity, rear-ended my boyfriend and took off. Yesterday around 1 p.m., this was last Wednesday, yesterday around 1 p.m., my boyfriend was rear-ended, parentheses, pretty hard, by a Chevy Silverado while stopped at a red light at Laurel Canyon and Chandler. He got out of the car to see this man. He didn't know who he was at the time, who was immediately erratic and belligerent, saying that my boyfriend's car was fine. It's not. The trunk is misaligned. There are 2 holes in the bumper. Wow. Joe, does that sound familiar? A misaligned trunk and 2 holes in the bumper? When they got into the car, how do you like the trunk was misaligned? What does that even mean? The trunk was misaligned. I knew it. Jack's rear-ended the boyfriend pretty hard. Yeah, it does sound very dirty, right? Um, yeah, it's the way she describes it kind of sounds like a porno. Um, but anyway, when they got in the car to pull over to the side of the road, he seemed to attempt to leave, but my boyfriend is good and fast if needed and followed him. He eventually pulled into the gas station further down the road. This is like, remember when Katie Janela from OC chased that man down to his house and she's like, I didn't even know his house. I didn't know where he lived. But like he misaligned the trunk. What does that mean? How do you misalign the trunk? Like that had to have been a pretty hard hit. Okay, so he followed him to a gas station further down the road. He was still super rude and upset, and when asked to exchange insurance info, his response was, "Oh, so you want to do this the hard way?" And when asked if he didn't have insurance, his response was, "I'm wearing $400 shoes. You think I don't have insurance?" I mean, this does kind of sound like Jax. followed by repetitively asking my boyfriend to just call the cops, just call the cops, just call the cops. My boyfriend got pictures of everything, his license plate, etc., and called the police, who just told him since he wasn't seriously injured, they'd send LAPD out as soon as they could. And of course, no one showed up. The man continued to refuse to exchange information. Eventually, he jumped in his car and took off shortly. Shortly after that, a man walked up to my boyfriend, who turned out to be paparazzi of some sort, telling my boyfriend who Jax Taylor is and that he's on Vanderpump Rules on Bravo, owns a bar in Studio City, etc. He provided his info as a witness. My boyfriend went to urgent care and has a pretty bad whiplash and a sore neck and back. Oh, so we didn't go to urgent care after the accident. We went to urgent care after this supposed paparazzi happened to find this man. Also, if this happened, right? Like, how would paparazzi know about the accident if it was a hit and run and they had some altercation? Like, if it wasn't actually reported and we don't know, and the boyfriend had no idea it was Jax Taylor, like, how would this random paparazzi person track down this random man that nobody ever knew about? It's just like, sore neck and back. Joe knows what that's like, right, Joe? But it's just like it literally was after the boyfriend found out that he was on Vanderpump Rules and owns a bar in Studio City, that's when he's like, "Oh, suddenly my neck, my back, my pussy and my crack, my pussy and my crack." Things aren't adding. Yeah, no, absolutely things are not adding up. Basically, police and Kaiser refused to do anything since he's not seriously injured, as in missing a limb, and didn't lose consciousness. And they asked him to file an online report. Well, yeah, typically, if you're not injured, then the hospital, and the police department are not likely to do anything if there are no injuries, except you saying, "Oh, my neck. Oh, 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 oh." Also, you seemed pretty fine when you chased him to the gas station and got out of the car and you guys were arguing about the $400 shoes, you know? You have to be missing a limb in LA. No, you don't have to be missing a limb in LA, but if you don't have injuries, then they're not going to do anything about it, right? Like, the hospital isn't going to be like, "Oh yeah, you got into a car accident, you have a bad neck." Okay. Who says whiplash anymore, right? Like, whiplash is that's like very like 90s, early 2000s. Regardless, he rear-ended him and can't just leave without exchanging info. I agree with that, Ellie. That's where Jax was wrong, and even the alleged quotes from Jax do sound like Jax. Okay, let's continue with this novel that she put out there. At the police station, he was told that it's a misdemeanor for the hit and run, which is a $400 fine at best, not a felony, since he's not more seriously injured. Kaiser's urgent care wouldn't do any imaging yesterday since he didn't pass out. So if the pain worsens, he needs to make a separate appointment with his doctor. Well, yeah, they don't need all these ambulance chasers coming in and flooding the urgent care. We live in a messed up system. No, yeah, well, a system where people find out that somebody's a celebrity that owns a bar and suddenly they want to bamboozle them. We live in a messed up system. We know insurance won't be an issue since we have all of his info and the photos, but we will be pursuing this as hard as we can to hold him accountable. Beware of this man and don't support him or go to his bar. She literally posted this on Reddit. Okay. I think what happened was the fender bender happened. It probably wasn't that big of a deal, but Jax was a dick and took off. So I think the boyfriend decided to chase Jax, went to the gas station to confront Jax, and then there was like, "Yo, bro, like, no, I want to exchange info." And Jax was like, "Well, then call the police, whatever." Right? Because I'm assuming there was no major injuries. Or, well, obviously there were no major injuries, but there was no major damage done to the car. So then when Jax refused to exchange information, because I'm sure the guy was like, "Well, now I have an opportunity to take this and get an insurance claim out of this. People do it all the time, right?" I'm sure the fender bender was not that bad. I'm sure, the trunk was not as realigned as he's claiming that it was. Um, Imagine saying I got my trunk realigned by Jax Taylor, rearranged by Jax Taylor, and all of my insides were tossed upside down. But so I think the boyfriend went, he got pictures of Jax, he got pictures of the car, like he was probably going to make an insurance claim. Goes home, tells the girlfriend. The girlfriend is the one that tells him, "Oh my god, that's Jax Taylor. We should do something about this. He's on Vanderpump Rules," right? They tip off the paparazzi. Suddenly, the paparazzi show up to come and question this random man. Where are they going to find out where this random stranger is from, right? So she tips it off to TMZ, she tips it off to Reddit, posts online, and then now it's on Bravo and Cocktails, and they're circulating the story, and then it gets picked up in the press, and then Jax looks terrible. I think that's what happened. I think the boyfriend had no clue it was Jax Taylor and suddenly got whiplash as soon as he found out it was Jax Taylor. But outside of that, I think he was just going to go with the regular insurance claim and see if he could get something out of it. And then once they found out that it was Jax, they're like, oh, we're going to really nail it. We're really going to stick it to him. So Mary Duda says Jax is poor. Yeah, I think that's the part that they don't know. So speaking of that, Reality T just reported that Jax Taylor and Brittany Cartwright took out a second mortgage on their home for their 2.2 million dollars because remember Jax was slapped with the tax lien a couple years ago for it was like $1 million that he owed in taxes. They were then going to hold him accountable for. So yeah, presumably to pay off his tax debt is why they took out the second mortgage. But now it's crazy that now they're fighting this in court. Yeah. At the time, I remember them saying that the tax issue was at the fault of their manager or somebody mismanaged their money. And yeah. But so now I'm assuming they paid the $1 million, but then they have the second mortgage that they have to pay off. But now they're in the divorce they're in the divorce proceedings. So I don't know how they're gonna settle that in the divorce. Like, are they gonna sell the house? Are they going to I mean, they have a second mortgage, so they have to pay even if they sell the house, they still owe whatever's left from beyond the sale of that house. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah. Jax mismanages his life. Yeah. Mary Duda said, Jax always looks terrible. This exchange is nothing for us. Yeah. MRI will determine if he has whiplash or no faking anymore. Yeah, but now he's mad that he has to get an MRI from his doctor because urgent care didn't want to do anything. But like urgent care is for urgent care. That's why too many people are like, oh my God, my stomach hurts. And they go to urgent care for every little thing. And it's like, guys, it's urgent care because it is an urgent situation, but everybody and their grandma wants to go to urgent care and they're faking their illnesses most of the time. So yeah, they don't want to put up with somebody's nonsense. Janet says any debt accumulated during the marriage will have to be divided up during the divorce. Yeah. So they're like, even if they sell the house and it doesn't go for what's owed left on the house, that debt, whatever's left over after the sale, will be divided between the two of them. And Jax doesn't seem to be good with money. He doesn't seem to be good with debt. Brittany seems to be the one that manages all of that stuff. They obviously did not feel he had whiplash. Yeah, they are small clinics. What depends on which urgent care you want. Here in Los Angeles, there are tons of them. I still can't believe Brittany lasted as long as she did. I agree. I can't believe she lasted as long as she did with him either. They just announced that they're closing Schwartz and Sandy's. Shut your mouth. No way. You're lying. No way. No way. Oh no. They just announced it 11 minutes ago. You guys, that's so sad. Tom Sandoval says, with a heavy heart, we've made the difficult decision to close Schwartz and Sandy's at the end of December. This hasn't been an easy choice for my partners and me, but other priorities and commitments have taken hold. While this business venture has been an incredible stepping stone in my life, I will always cherish. I look forward to exciting new endeavors. To our incredible staff and everyone who supported us along the way, you deserve the true recognition. I can't thank you enough for your endless commitment to making Schwartz and Sandy's a place of everlasting memories. We will be hosting a series of events to have availability to host others leading up to closing night. The allure being associated with reality TV has hidden what is an amazing spot and location for LA locals as well. I highly recommend you check us out, especially if you haven't. Let's get one last time together. Oh, that's so sad. It's so sad. Um, oh, I kind of want to send this to Josh and be like, they're closing Schwartz and Sandy's. It's so sad. You guys, Best of Bravo says, "Not surprised at all by this news." Well, it's just sad. You can thank Sandoval for that. Well, no, I've always said the location of Schwartz and Sandy's is not a good location. It's a really challenging location that, like, you know, sucks for Schwartz. It cost him a lot of money and his marriage to Katie. Yeah, maybe I can secure the interview. Schwartz, how do you feel now that you've lost your marriage and your bar? No, that's terrible. I'm so sorry. Sorry, guys. Um, yeah, did they still make money from TomTom? Not very much. Remember, they only own a small percentage of TomTom. Have they been open 3 years? They opened in 2021 or 2022? No, they opened in 2022. So 2022, 2023. Wow, they barely lasted 2 years. Yeah, it was the Scandival season that they opened in. Listen, it's really hard to keep these businesses alive, you know? Do they still show up at TomTom? I believe yeah, I've seen them at TomTom a couple of times. They have the brunch that they host at TomTom. So, yeah, they only own 5% of TomTom. I don't it's not a convenient location, and like I said, they have Birds right around the corner, and Birds is super low key, it's not pretentious, it's like a chill, like, dive bar. Um, so yeah. Sharon says, "So glad you attached your star to the Sandoval train. Good move, Schwartz, just being blunt." Well, that was his friend to begin with, right? That was pre-Scandival. Um, yeah. Mallory says, "Honestly, we'll see how long Something About Her stays open, but they are in a really good location." Yes and no. Um, yes and no to the location that they're in, because that location, there's not a like, it's good for nightlife, but I don't know how good it is for lunch life, you know? I think people are going to Something About Her for the novelty of it and hoping that they get to see Ariana and Katie, but, like, that's only gonna last so long, right? They're only gonna be able to hold that for so long. So, I don't know. Um, yeah. It's not the most ideal location for, like, just grabbing a sandwich, and it's really small. Um Overhead, I imagine, can't be cheap. I don't want them to fail. I think it's a cute spot. I just don't know realistically how long they're going to last, because I don't know realistically, like, how committed Katie and Ariana are to the spot and how much they care to, like, keep it going beyond the novelty. Because, like, the menu, like, the food's not amazing, right? The venues, it's cute. It's a boutiquey spot, but after a while, we'll see. Brittany says, "Yeah, Brittany still decides to open a bar." Well, she's opening in a good location because it's in between Tom Tom and Sir. And the reason Pump closed down was because the rent was getting too expensive, and that was a very expensive corner and a big space that I would imagine that was not a cheap location. So, yeah. Um, yeah, I'm sad Schwartz and Sandy's is closing down. That breaks my heart. I loved Schwartz and Sandy. Again, not a great location, but it's so sad. Schwartz and That's so sad. And Sandy's is closed. Brit's still doing the whole Rocco's deal like Jax, where it's no investment on Britney's side. Yeah, she's really just the face of it. And it's kind of a pop up, so it can always default back to being Rocco's. But they already have a Rocco's there on Santa Monica Boulevard. And it's not it's on the opposite part of so, like, you have a block. Let's see. Um, let's just say this is the block. Uh, you would have right here, you would have, sorry, I'm gotta stay on the microphone. So right here is where you have Sir, and then you come down here, and this is where Pump used to be, and then you have Tom Tom right here, and then Rocco's is all the way down here. So Uncertain, and then Something About Her is over here. So we have Sir, Something About Her, what used to be Pump, and then Tom Tom. But then Rocco's is way down here. So uncertain what's gonna happen with that. I don't know. What else happened? Lisa Hochstein from Real Houses of Miami, her divorce from Lenny has finally been finalized. So apparently the judge is making them hold the prenup that she signed. The judge is making that stick. The prenup will stand. I don't remember the details of the prenup and the actual spousal support settlement. I believe they came to an agreement on it, and it seems like it's not what she was asking for. That's why she was fighting for more, but she's getting $15,000 per month in child support, and then once their first child reaches 18, then it'll be reduced to 10,000 per month until the second child turns 18. So, she's at least getting some money, and then she is getting spousal support. I imagine it's not very much spousal support because they are upholding the prenup. The actual spousal support amount has not been disclosed. That's confidential. I'm sure it'll break as more people dig into it and as more details come. But yeah, bummer, 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 bummer. That divorce is taking forever, wouldn't it? I mean, divorces usually do take forever. So yeah, Lisa Hochstein getting her divorce is finalized. She's getting her divorce. She was just at the Bravo Fan Fest in Miami, and she was like, my ring finger is missing a ring. I need a ring." She's like wanting Jody to propose to her, and then she was like, "But I do still wear my other ring that Lenny gave me, but she wears it on her middle finger." And then she flipped off the camera. She's like, "See, I still have my ring on my middle finger." She's like, "I may give it to my kids one day." I'm glad that she's still rocking it. Good for her. Good for her. Okay. I think that's all I've got for you. Um, but apparently her and Larsa are fighting. Like Larsa, like they asked Lisa, I think page 6 asked Lisa who she trusts the least in the group, and she said Larsa. And then when Larsa was asked about it, she's like, which Lisa? I don't know who that is. And I was like, ooh. So it seems like the besties are no longer besties by Bravo. They're frenemies yet again. Doesn't look good. And now yes, I saw that she's fighting with Kiki, and Kiki was throwing shade at her. I like Kiki. I do like Kiki. Kiki from Miami. FanFest was disappointing. Oh, did you go to FanFest? What did you think of it? Thanks for this little fun. Thanks for a little fun this Monday. Everyone have a good day. Oh, bye, Sharon. Sharon's already like, we're done. Wrap it up. All right. Well, on that note, thank you, Sharon, for wrapping us up. I love you. I appreciate you. You can give me a follow always at Just Plain Zack all around the internet, and follow the podcast at No Filter with Zack on Instagram. New episodes of No Filter with Zack Peter Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, streaming live on YouTube and available on all podcast platforms. You can listen and watch on Spotify. If you miss it anywhere else, be sure to tune in on Spotify. You can also catch my 2 other shows, Disaster Daters. The first 2 seasons of Disaster Daters are out now. You can get into all of my dating wild sex life, and the Pop Report. So if you like everything beyond reality TV, you want more Wicked talk, or you want to talk about Lindsay Lohan's new face, we're going to be talking about that on the Pop Report this week. So tune in to the Pop Report. Please leave me Apple ratings, Apple Podcast ratings. If you have the Apple Podcast app and you listen on Apple, please leave me a good rating. Let's counteract Pink Speech calling me annoying. I know I'm the most annoying podcast out there, but if you have nice things to say about me, please continue to send them, and I'll continue to shout you guys out. All right, guys. I love ya. I appreciate ya. I will talk to you tomorrow. Goodbye for now. To you, my friend. Goodbye for now. Until we meet again, I said goodbye for now. To you, my friends. Goodbye for now. Until we meet again.